Okay, so let's go ahead and start working on this AI character. So let me first of all explain how our walkable AI will work. So for example, if this is our character, alright, then what we're gonna do in this script is we're gonna create random waypoints for this AI character, okay? When the game starts, this character will create a waypoint, for example, right here. Then this character using the nav mesh agent will find a way to walk towards this waypoint, and when the character reaches this waypoint, then the character will find any other, or you can say create any other random waypoint in a random place, for example right here, and then using the nav mesh agent this character will find a way towards this waypoint, okay, and then it will create random waypoints in random areas and walk towards it. Or alright, we don't have to provide waypoints to this AI. So since we will be using nav mesh agent, so what we need to do is from Windows AI, go ahead and open up this navigation absolute. Okay, it will just open it up and it will give you a window like this. Just drag and drop it with the inspector right there. Alright, then click on bake, and now we need to bake this whole environment. So if you select the environment, okay, this is the whole environment. What I'm gonna do is turn on the gizmo so that you can see it, and then simply click on bake. And if you have a low-end PC, then make sure that you turn off the gizmos, or else it will make your PC really laggy. But mine is a little bit faster, so now as you can see, whole of the environment is baked. You can see these blue lines. So now on all of these blue areas, our AI character will be walking, alright? And on these areas, our AI character will not walk because right here there are water. So that water things are not baked, as you can see. But if you want, you can select them and bake them if you want the character to walk on it. Alright, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open up this surface and I'm gonna select that checkbox, and let me deselect the second checkbox. That's it. Alright, and let's deselect the environment, and you can actually, if you want, you can open it again, and as you can see, the AI character will walk in these blue areas now. Alright, so for example, if this character create a random waypoint right here, then this character will avoid this area, walking on this area. Right, this character will come from this direction or from that direction. Alright, and the character can walk in here because they are all baked. That's it. Now once you bake the environment, turn off the gizmos, select this character, click on inspector, and to this character add a nav mesh agent. When you add it, turn on gizmos. As you can see, this is the nav mesh agent right there. Add a capsule collider to it as well. If you select the capsule collider, edit it, move it up, make the radius 0.3 and the height 2. Alright, once we add these two, now we need to create a controller for it. So inside the crowd, create a new folder by the name of animations, actually animators, and create a animator right here, animator controller, name this as walk1. Alright, we will add two type of walking animations in these controllers. The first one will be for the female and the second one will be for the male. Alright, so once we add the controller, let's open it up, and in this we need to add a walking animation. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on AI, then traffic AI, and in here let's walk 1. Here it is. Okay, so this animation will be for the male and this one will be for the female. So let me add this right there. That is it. Alright, now we need to create a script for this. So in the scripts folder, then inside the AI folder, let's create a C# script by the name of waypoint character AI. Then click on this character and drag and drop this script at the top right there. Now let's open this up. When you open it up, let's remove the start and update. First of all, right here at the top, let's add the Unity engine .ai package. Then right down below, create a reference to the nav mesh agent of the character. Alright, then make a reference to the animator as well. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make the animator private. Alright, so just type animator, and also for the nav mesh agent as well. Then we will get a public float by the name of walk speed, which will be set to 0.3 by default. Then a public integer by the name of health, which will be 100 by default. Then a reference to the capsule collider of this character. So add a reference to that. Then create a private bool by the name of isMoving, which will be set to false by default. Now let's set up the references. So in the start, let's set up the reference for the nav mesh agent. So it will be equals to get component, and we want to get the nav mesh agent component. Then we need to get the animator. So animator equals to get component animator, then the capsule collider, okay. After the capsule collider, what we're gonna do, we now gonna create a method which will be a vector3 and name this as nav mesh position. In this, what we're gonna do first of all is to get a random direction within a sphere of radius 12 units. Alright, what I mean by this is, for example, this will be our player. Okay, so we're gonna create a radius around this player, and then inside that radius we're gonna select a different random waypoint, and then this character will walk towards that random waypoint. And when the character reaches this position, then right here we're gonna create another sphere collider. Okay, and then inside that sphere collider we're gonna select a random area, and the character will walk towards it. Okay, so that's why right here first of all we're gonna get a random direction within a sphere of radius, and the radius will be 12 units. So vector3, name this as random direction. It will be then equals to random dot inside unit sphere, multiply that by 12. Then after this we're gonna offset the random direction by the character current position. So random direction plus equals to transform dot position. Then we're gonna declare a variable to store the result of the nav mesh position sampling. So we will say nav mesh hit, name this as hit. Then we're gonna sample a position on the nav mesh within the 12 units from the random direction. So nav mesh dot sample, I don't know why it autocorrect this, it's really frustrating. Okay, so nav mesh dot sample position, pass the random direction, then out hit, then 12 units, then type nav mesh dot all areas. Okay, then we're gonna return the position found on the nav mesh, so we will say return hit dot position. So now once we have the position, now let's make the character start walking to a random position. Alright, so for that we're gonna create a separate method at the top, name this as walk to random waypoint, and in here first of all at the top you're gonna set the nav mesh agent speed to the walk speed, so nav mesh agent dot speed equals to the walk speed. Then we're gonna get a random position on the nav mesh, so vector3 random position, and it will be equals to the random position, random nav mesh position vector3 which we created right here. So once we have the random position, then let's set the nav mesh agent destination to the random position. So nav agent dot set destination random position. Then we will set the is moving flag to true, so is moving will be equals to true. And right here we want to play the animation, but as you know that the animation will be played by itself, because if you check the animation right here, it is already playing the walking animation, so we don't have to do anything. We just have to add the death animation right here. Okay, so for that let's click on guard, and in the guard let me check. Okay, this is the death animation, so I'm gonna add this right here. Alright, then create a bool by the name of is dead, and when is dead is true, we're gonna make a transition to the animation and set the is dead to true. So when we kill the character will just die like this. Alright, so make sure that you set up animation for this. Now if we get back to the script, alright, what we're gonna do now is right after the start we're gonna create an update method. Alright, let's remove the summary from it, and in here we will say if the player is not moving, or if the nav agent dot remaining distance is less than 0.1, then in this case we want to move our AI character to the random waypoint. So we're gonna call the walk to random waypoint method, and then we can save the script and get back right here to Unity. What we're gonna do now right here is click on animator and make sure that you select the AI character, then double click on the walking animation. Okay, drag and drop the character in there so that we can see it. As you can see, there is the animation. Make sure to change it to loop time, then loop pose, then change its rotation root transform to original, and then bake into pose all three of them. Click apply, and then if you select the death, okay, leave the death animation as it is. Alright, now we can go ahead and play the game. And when the game starts, as you can see, the character is walking. Alright, the speed of the character is slow, so if we select the character and increase to 0.5, make sure to select the nav mesh agent, and right here the speed is 0.5 as well. Okay, when we change it right there, it should be changed right here as well then. And now as you can see, the character moved down to the ground back again. Alright, I think the walk speed for this should be 0.7, because 0.7 matches this character walk animation speed, as you can see. Alright, so we can now stop the game, select this and change it to 0.7. That is it. And when the game start, the speed will be already changed to 0.7, because that's what we type in our code.